The human being is like two persons living together, two roommates living in the same house. Now, one of them is a sensory human being. That means the five senses bring in the information into a data bank. They form a sensory soul, and the sensory soul projects perceived reality, lives in it. So this is a sensory human being. On the other hand, inside, what's beyond the senses? Now, the sensory human being is also a human being who lives in time and space, because time and space are created by the senses. Our time and space is created by our senses. So in every dimension it's the same. Now, the right side is a side that's not related to the sensory perception. But that means it's a part of us that is not related to time and space, is not bound by any boundaries of time and space, is not linear in its motion. So it's a multidimensional. It has all dimensions from individual to collective to universal. And that is the part that we call the subconscious or the intellect of the heart. So the roommate we have is a universality with all its dimensions at the same time. So because that's why we should understand that part of us lives in all dimensions in existence, irrelevant how deep, how high, how low, irrelevant the way you explain them. Because once you are free of the shackles of time and space, you're out there into the beauty of the divine unity. I've always been there. I'm already there where I will be. The real me lives in all those other dimensions now. There are things that you can't even imagine here. So this is your roommate who lives with you. Sometimes you communicate, sometimes you don't.
In the circle, step to the left, arm stretched towards constellations, rain down with the memories, weaving the threads. Her tapestry held the shape of the prophecy. Cast your bones in the circle, step to the left, arm stretched towards constellations.
All of a sudden, I will see the beauty and reality of multidimensionality, closing my sensory perception. You want to be a whole nation, a collective entity, you become the soul of a whole nation. You want to be a universal entity, you become like the wind. So your consciousness here is not bound by time, space, or any barriers. It's a fantastic feeling. There's no way that you can imagine it, not even an out-of-body experience. You can't imagine. You can feel it sometimes during certain types of meditation and all that. You feel, okay, I have a taste of me dissolving in the universe, or me being part of the total unity. But really, how the real soul in you, the immortal soul, this other dimension in me, how it has everything on the other side, and it can go anywhere. How do you cleanse the subconscious in a very abstract way without going into the contents of every one of those steps? We have a very simple method. We go to sacred passports. We go to the cleansing vortices there. those cleansing vortices will clean your subconscious 100 times better than you can do it by any method you know. So go to your Mother Earth, go to the cleansing parts, do your rituals there, and you will find that all those, you want to come at the end with a sort of serenity. And we said, if you separate the divinity of a person or an object or an animal or a tree, if you take it as a manifestation of the divine mind, it is imagined by the mind of God in front of you. So how can you look at it otherwise? Nobody can do something as bad as you can think that can extinguish the divine light in you, because that's the center, the zero. If you extinguish it, you won't exist. It's the center that connects the center of duality, the centering principle. If you take the centering principle and everything out, nothing is left.